Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. And do you remember Holy Priest? You probably forgot about it because Blizzard locked it in a basement and we didn't see it for years. And thing is while it was locked away and we kind of forgot it existed, it did a lot of squats and it did a lot of push-ups and it got buff. It got really buff. Uh, and it might be, in my view, from playing this game over a decade and playing at a high level for I don't even know how long anymore, it might be the best, the highest skill cap, coolest spec in the entire game. It went from being lost and forgotten to Chad status. It is insane how much stuff Holy Priest got. So in this video, I'm going to be going over the spells. I'm going to be going over the talents, what covenant I decided to go with, some of the conduits, some of the legendary builds, basically all of the craziness that you need to know about if you're going to make a choice about playing Holy moving into Shadowlands, which I actually am. I think I am. I think it's a really tough sell to not sell me to play Holy Priest with the skill cap that I think it's going to have, and how much potential you can have based on a couple of arenas and duels that I did. I was actually able to win duels against even rep paladins. So basically, you've got a general tab now and the holy tab. All priests are going to be getting Mind Blast. At first, I was thinking, well, that's kind of weird. Like, I've already got Holy Fire and I've already got Smite. But then I remembered, well, I can be interrupted. And then if I'm interrupted, I can cast that instead. So when I was dueling, I could just mash out tons of damage with Smite. If I got interrupted, switch over to Mind Blast, go for Holy Fire, get interrupted, go back to Mind Blast. Because you have these two schools of Shadow and Holy, you basically are just nonstop casting. Your actions per minute are like maxed out. That's why I said it was a really high skill cap spec. And the damage from those abilities felt like it was worthwhile to cast them. Not just that's what I was worried about, is maybe they're not going to be worth pressing, but they were doing quite a bit of damage if you're able to sneak in a couple of abilities here or there with the smites, the holy fires, or the mind blasts. So it is nice to see them return here to the priest in general, I suppose. A couple other ones that are nice little skill capabilities is the symbol of hope. So you can get some mana restored to yourself. It's a 5-minute cooldown, but still, I love mana management in general, and so it's nice to have. It's still kind of the same type of build, though. Most of your healing is based around Serenity, at least in PvP, where you're going for that big nuke. Not too much in terms of your rotation has changed. Just keeping renew up on everything. Some quality of life. Your prayer of mending is just instant cast baseline. That's a huge buff to it in general. Now you no longer need to take an honor talent. You can reduce its cooldown further with sanctify and some talents. So you're just a palm bot. You're just going to be sending out tons of prayer of mendings. You can talent into a stun. You can run with a fear and a disorient, but I suggest the stun and then running with the Venthyr Covenant. You have access to tons of crowd control, tons of abilities. And when you go Venthyr and get access to mind games, which in my mind is like the coolest Covenant ability, period. Like if you're a priest and you're not going Venthyr, I'm pretty surprised, at least in PvP. Unfortunately, in PvE, it's probably bad, right? It's probably bad. To me, it's like this was made for PvP. You just mess with their heads. You cast mind games on them, and then if they start hitting you, they heal you instead. Or if you cast it on them when they're healing themselves, they hurt themselves. And that's how I won one duel. A Rep Paladin was trying to save himself. I put this on him, and then he ended up dying to his own flash of light. So this is huge. And again, because you've got so many schools of magic, you can eventually get to this pretty easily. One of the downsides of Holy has been mobility, but obviously as going Venthyr, you get a teleport too. So you've got some mobility, and you can talent for more mobility when we get to the legendaries. That's the fun part. I made a bouncy priest spec. You still have fear. You can still talent into chastise, stun, and keep fear, which is interesting. So you've got stun into fear, and if you run the Venthyr, you've got stun into fear into disorient. However, I have noticed that this disorient, whether or not it's because Relentless was bugged, is much lower in PvP. I think it was like 2 seconds only in PvP a couple of times that I had it cast on me. So I'm not sure if it's nerfed in PvP. You might not be going for that. But still, 25% reduced interrupts and roots and snares. That's everything I hate as a priest. 25% less makes Naja misplay just really good in general for the Holy Priest. We get power infusion, so we can add more utility to our team and get some extra damage or heals out if we absolutely need to. Basically, it's got everything. It's actually quite insane how much you have available to yourself. You've got Shadow Word Death mechanics now, so you can death polymorphs. You on top of all the crowd control immunities. I mean, I don't know how you don't play Holy Priest at this point. I haven't even gotten through absolutely everything. You've got instant cast nuke healings with Serenities. You've got honor talents to double it up. You can run Guardian Spirit, reduce its cooldowns through talents, then reduce its cooldown even further through talents to have infinite Guardians. It is pretty nuts. So you get a lot of instant cast healing when you can replicate, and when you get procs, your benediction to imply renew. The cooldowns of your holy wards are all reduced. It's so insane, and this is where you want to top it all off. On the honor talents, you can get 2 Serenities. Now that you no longer need an honor talent to make Prayer of Mending instant cast, they gave you an honor talent that makes Prayer of Mending heal you for 10% of their max health and ignore Mortal Strike. This thing has 5 charges. 10%, 50% of everyone's health when it bounces around. You can reduce its cooldown and cast it again. I do not understand how a Holy Priest doesn't end up being absolutely bonkers. And that's without even running the greater heal and a whole bunch of other things that it's got. As we get to that, the other one that somehow just flew under the radar, literally flew under the radar for me until recently, is you can fly. I got really mad when I saw this because I thought Balance Druid should be the first spec that can fly. If there's going to be a spec, Demon Hunters, I guess, took that, but Holy Priests are the next one that flies. They fly, and you can only cast healing spells, but still, you escape from all the DPS that are smacking you. That's generally a weakness on a priest, and you just start healing yourself. This ability was nuts when I was using this. It's actually so hard to pick honor talents because they're all so good. I could run Divine Attendant, get 1 minute cooldown off my Guardian, with Guardian Angel to get another minute off of it. I mean, it's just nuts. It's actually not a 1 minute cooldown Guardian build, as long as they don't die to it. So if you use it earlier, it's insane to me. Some of the legendary effects, if they work in PvP, they're absolutely bonkers. Like, this isn't even the standard like Greater Fate immunities and Holy Ward immunities, Ray of Hope immunities. My bouncy priest build, so you can run this to reduce the cooldown of your Leap of Faith, which is pulling an ally to you, right? But there's a legendary, now that we'll get to that, there's a legendary that gives it 2 charges. And you can jump to someone else. Okay? The honor talent makes you dispel all slows. You're a bouncy priest. You're gone. The whole game, just jumping around the entire map. I mean, you're probably not going to actually take that legendary, but I thought it was funny. And the synergy between the honor talent and the legendary. So if you wanted to make a bouncy ball priest, you can make a bouncy ball priest. But here we go. Circle of Healing reduces the cooldown of Holy Word Sanctify. Prayer of Mending reduces the cooldown of Holy Word Serenity. Holy Fire reduces. So you can use this legendary to just reduce all of your word cooldowns. Of course, the new legendary that I just reviewed, the Sephu's one, it wasn't available on the beta at the moment to get, but it's basically just 25% crowd control reduction. You pair that up with the Venthyr, 25% interrupt reduction. It's likely that is the best legendary. But I just wanted to go over some of these crazy ones because I'm not sure if they're going to work in PvP or not. And some of the things have been working in PvP that are normally not allowed. So this one, after Spirit of Redemption expires, you will revive at 100% health based on your effectiveness during the Spirit of Redemption. So you're going to be effective. You just spam heal when you're in the Ghost Angel form. But you cannot benefit from it for 10 minutes. Now, usually if a cooldown's higher than 6, it doesn't work in PvP, but they've been very adamant about making sure that everything works and everything. So you might have a cheat death in Arena, and it would heal you back up to full health if it works. It's pretty nuts. That one, if it works, is pretty nuts. Each time you cast Flash Heal, your next heal within 15 seconds has cast time reduced by 0.5 seconds, and the healing is increased, stacking up to 3 times. So if you want to just sit in the back and nuke heal Flash Heals, I was thinking about playing a non-greater heal build. That's how many crazy things Holy Priest is getting. That is, I'm thinking about actually not running greater heal, and maybe just running a Flash Heal build with this legendary and then getting big normal heals off. You can use a legendary to buff up your power infusion. So if you wanted to go crazy with a fellow spellcaster on your team and just buff them up, you can make them go absolutely insane with that legendary. Every single thing about the Holy Priest is just absolutely out of this world at the moment. You can buff up the duration here and the healing effects. So if you wanted to run that Guardian Angel build, when we're moving here into the conduits, you could run Lasting Spirit conduits so it lasts longer. You might even be able to get to 100% Guardian uptime. You get to the point where if you ran that honor talent and you stack this and ranked this up enough, you might be able to have Guardian Spirit last almost indefinitely on a target. I mean, it's pretty bonkers. Spells that reduce the cooldowns of your Holy Wards reduce them by 5% more. I'm sure that this is a throughput is going to be awesome. Prayer of Mending's first target is healed by an additional 20%. Does that work with the honor talent, Cardinal Mending? I mean, that's a pretty insane instant cast single target heal. This is why I'm thinking you might not even need greater heal out of these potency conduits. In my mind, in PvP, you're going to be wanting to go for the Prayer of Mending. Just get another big instant heal cast. It's got a very short cooldown. Casting Power Infusion on an ally reduces its cooldown. Little minor benefits, not too great. After Psychic Scream ends, effect is bad. I don't see any situation you want to use this. 40% is not a good slow. It's just not. This would have to be much higher. Clear Mind, Dispel Magic, Purify a Master Spell costs 20% less. Some nice, like, offensive utility with this conduit if you wanted to. So your Master Spell doesn't run you out of mana. You can spam Purge too. It's great in terms of utility. And then Levitate increases your movement speed. So you could even get a little sprint, you know, like the Angelic Feather build without running the Angelic Feather. But in my mind, getting the utility of 20% mana off is pretty good. It's probably too good to pass up over these other minor benefits. And then moving on to your endurance conduits, Light's Inspiration, Desperate Prayer heals you for an additional 5% of your maximum health over 5 seconds. Or for the first 2 seconds of Fade, you take 5% less damage. And do remember you can rank these up, so they're going to get stronger as you play through the expansion. Casting Power Word Shield on an ally also shields you for 10% of the amount. Oh yeah, I forgot Power Word Shield's even back for Holy Priest. I feel like you got everything as a Holy Priest. You stole Disc's damage. You stole its death. You have a stun. You run really fast. You can blink around instantly. You have such powerhouse healing cooldowns and instant healing and all these effects. I mean, I would be blown away if Holy Priest didn't end up being one of the best healers, if not the best healer. And not even just based on performance do I think that it's worth your time or worth my time to play. I feel like it's an infinite skill cap. There are so many things that you can do now. You can teleport around with the door, mind games people on their heals, mind game them on their damage, cast some heals, go for mind controls, maybe fly up in the air to avoid being attacked with the Ascension talent. And then you could even run Thought Steal, which is crazy. You could steal a polymorph from a mage, and then you'd have the polymorph diminishing return. I just don't like. I don't know if they should have let it out of the basement. This thing is a monster. This thing is a monster. That's all I can really say. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video on Holy Priest. Just a quick little jump in, give you all the goodies that I was able to find, and let you make your own choice. But I feel like not playing Holy Priest would be the wrong one. Anyways, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel here. Leave a comment down below on what you think and if you're interested in playing. And please like the video if you liked it. And we'll see you in the next one.